If you live in the south suburbs, you may be in for sticker shock as property taxes are up nearly 20%, and that is a record high. And it's according to a new analysis by the Cook County Treasurer's Office. It's the largest increase in 30 years.
2023 South suburban property taxes are up by just shy of 20% on average, and that's a new record.
I want to address, and I've said this, that tonight we have a protest that Alderman Tillman just mentioned of protesting taxes. I've said this and I'll say it again. Calumet City has not raised taxes, and we're not responsible for the reassessment. There are 11 tax bills and taxing bodies on the tax bill. Calumet City has not raised taxes in 4 or 5 years, and probably longer than that. We just had our director come up and present our budget. I am as pissed off as anybody because my taxes went up as well. And we're going to demand that Cook County Assessor Fritz Kegge come to Calumet City and explain to every resident, every elected official, the assessment and why he's switching the taxes from business owners to residents. It is squarely in the hands of Fritz Kegge for assessments and property taxes. The Calumet City is not responsible for the high tax bills that you got. It is squarely in Fritz Kegge's hand. And I'm going to direct our city attorney to consider filing a class action lawsuit against Cook County and Fritz Kegge, and we'll ask every member to join that class action lawsuit and every community to join that class action lawsuit against the county, against Fritz Kegge, and ask them to reassess our area. I mentioned in addition to that I'm filing the bill in Springfield to encourage the governor and the county to have a flat tax rate for communities that are suffering.
I want to let you know what didn't increase your property taxes is the village of Calumet City. So it's not your village. Okay, if you're searching for scapegoats, if it's scapegoats you want, it's not your village that's raising levies, okay?
We want to make sure that is there an option for residents to extend the payment from August 1st to maybe October? And then the second question for you, we want to make sure that residents, that if you can come out and reassess our area, is that possible? Right? Is that the questions?
I am here to provide some analysis, but I know you don't want analysis tonight. You want to be heard about your situations, but people's bills went up too much this cycle.
It did. 100%.
They went up too much.
100%.
Recently, our community was hit by a series of devastating tornadoes, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Public works crews were working long hours to clean damage caused by the storm. Phone calls were made and text messages sent out to keep residents informed and to find out what help was needed. Help us to improve communication with you by signing up for the City Text Message Blast and downloading the Calumet City mobile app. Help us to make Calumet City a better place for everyone.
Tonight we have 2 meetings. We have our budget appropriations meeting, budget notice meeting, public hearing for our budget, and then we'll go right into our city council meeting. So our special meeting is for our public notice for our budget, and then we'll go into our regular city council meeting. So tonight, we'd like to call the special meeting of the City Council for public notice for budget hearing to order at 6:11 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Navarrete.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Patton.
Here.
Smith.
Here. Also in attendance at the special meeting is our city clerk and also our city treasurer. We have our finance director, John Kasparic, and we also have in the back our assistant chief, Andre Black, We have in attendance also our City Chief of Staff, City Administrator Deanne Jeffrey. We have Cleo Jones. We have Butch Carradine from our Police Fire Commission, Mike Bansky from Crime Free Housing, Ed Steve, and we also have Pastor Fluker. Pastor, we will save you for the regular City Council meeting. This notice for our budget, every fiscal year we have to pass a budget. Our budget year ends April 30th of every year. The law requires us to post a notice, which allows the City Council to pass a budget within that time frame. We posted this notice for tonight. It is our intention, as we still go through the budget, to pass the budget for 24-25 on Monday. We still have some cleanup to do. The notice, the certification of publication, which the law requires us to do as well, was published in 3 newspapers, in the Chicago Sun-Times, which was posted as well, the Chicago Tribune, and 2 other publications. So we'll hand this certification of notice to the clerk. But at this time, we would also, are there any public comments on the budget only for this year? Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on the budget? Also, the budget was posted online this year. It was posted downstairs in the clerk's office. If any resident want a copy of the budget, we're more than happy to get you a copy of the budget for any questions about city-related expenses or city-related items. So again, is there any public comment on the budget? If not, we would like to call up John Kasparic, our Finance Director, to give us and the residents an overview of our budget that we presented to the City Council and our budget that we're presenting to the public. So everyone, please give John Kasparic. We won't give you a round of applause yet, John, but we'll just give you our attention for now.
Thank you, Mayor. I brought my book, and I start from page 1, and I believe it finishes on page 80. So, no, I'm not going to go over the whole budget book. All right. Members of the City Council and department heads, as well as the public. Today we are having a public hearing related to the city's annual appropriation ordinance. The funds included in the appropriation ordinance are the corporate fund, the capital projects fund, special service area fund, the ambulance paramedic fund, the water and sewer fund, IMRF Social Security Fund, police and fire pension funds, and the library fund. The process has been long, with meetings with myself, meeting with department heads, review of the annual appropriation and estimated revenues with the mayor, the treasurer, and myself, presenting the budget information to the City Council, and to date, we've had 3 meetings to discuss and review the funds as noted above. There'll still be one more meeting tomorrow, and as what we call a wrap-up, a couple departments still to be reviewed. And then on Monday, if all goes well, we'll pass the appropriation ordinance along with the salary ordinance. So what I want to do, it's just going to be a really high-level highlight without getting into all of the individual line items in the budget, but you will see the magnitude of the dollars that go through the city. That, by the way, with the mayor and the council, we went over each line in this budget, so we did go over this entire budget booklet. And so without going any further, the corporate fund will have estimated revenue this year of $50.6 million, which is a slight decrease from the prior year of $51 million. Last year, the unaudited revenue received was $46.8 million, which was slightly below projections. This year's appropriated expenditures are $50.6 million, which reflects a balanced budget. Last year's appropriated expenditures were $50 million, which was also a balanced budget, with unaudited expenditures of $48.9 million. The city is still in the process of closing out revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year 4/30/24 and accrual entries and accrual entries will still be done, so actual figures could change. So I just want everyone to understand when the budget's passed, we're still in the process of closing because we're on the accrual basis of accounting. This is on all of our funds, so I won't repeat it twice. But what that means is we still have to account for any revenue that comes in after April 30th. As the mayor indicated, April 30th is our year end. But if revenue comes in May, June, July, thereafter, that should have been collected. And when I mean should have been collected, it was money due and owing to the city at April 30th or prior. We still have to accrue it. The same holds true for expenses. So if vendors, and sometimes this does happen, vendors don't always turn their bills in time. We might not get them till September. But anyway, we have to accrue any bills that come in after year end that are related for services or product that we might have received at April 30th or prior. So that's why I want to make it clear when I give the revenues and the expenses, A, they're not audited, and B, there's still going to be additional adjustments made. But the numbers that I give you really are, what I do with those with the console, they're a guide. They're just letting us know what we did last year. Did we get close to projections, and did we get close to the budget? And nothing more than that. It's just simply as a guide. We do go over the entire, like I said, the budget itself, line item by line item, the revenues, the expenses, and then this information is more just to help us guide where we're coming up with an idea, where do those numbers come from, excuse me. Okay, the next fund is the Capital Project Fund. The Capital Projects Fund is really set up to reflect potential grant revenue along with grant expenditures. Also included in this fund are potential new leases for that the city may enter into. The fund reflects over $19.9 million of grant revenue and a potential of entering into $3 million of leases. Expenditures are set up to equal the grant revenue and the leases and any leases the city may enter into. Keep in mind that the city will only charge expenditures in this fund if the grants have been awarded to the city. Therefore, if there is no grant income, there will be no grant expenditures. Since these expenditures would not be accounted for through any other ordinance, they need to be appropriated in the annual appropriation ordinance. The reason I make this final comment, there are funds that the city does not run through the annual appropriation ordinance. Those funds would be our capital project funds, which are derived from bond revenue. And back in April of 23 or February 23, we issued $23 million of bonds, but there was an ordinance that passed that by the council, and that ordinance already decides what we can spend. So we do not have to get it reapproved again because it's already in that ordinance, so we don't appropriate it again. Also, when an ordinance was issued, it also authorized a tax levy. That tax levy is in place from the day that the ordinance was passed. So when we do the tax levy, we don't have to appropriate for it, not only or show it as estimated revenue, but we don't have to appropriate the principal and the interest payments because that too comes out of the bond ordinance. So there are other documents that the city passes in the course of a year where we may have other funds, and you're not hearing like, why aren't they here? Motor fuel tax is another one that gets approved by a budget by the city council, usually I believe in June, and that money we really hold the money. We have the money's given to us from the Illinois Department of Revenue, motor fuel tax, their Department of Transportation, but we have to give them a budget. And then not only do we give them a budget, but when we want to expend, we send them what we're going to expend. That usually, if it's in the budget, it's pretty much going to happen. City council still approves it, but we don't have to appropriate for it. In the same vein, the treasurer doesn't have to account for the estimated revenues because that is controlled, again, through the Illinois Department of Revenue. So I'm just mentioning a few funds. If you sit back and say, well, what happened to these? That's the reason they're not in there for those that have not been. I've been doing this 35 years, so. But for those that haven't, I just want to explain why not all funds are in there. So the Capital Projects Fund, let me explain that too. We go after grants. Sometimes we don't know if we're going to get them. That's more often than not, we won't. But we go after grants, and so if we do get the grants, we have to have a spending authority to spend it. So just getting the grant doesn't give us the authority. So instead of amending the budget for every time we get a $2 or a $3 million grant, we work together with all the department heads. We look at what, especially through economic development, police and fire, and we got to get a pretty good idea what grants we're going after, and we appropriate, and then we set them up as estimated revenues, and we set them up in the budget. But again, if that money doesn't come in, we're not going to spend it. That's why it's in its own separate fund. It won't distort the expenditures in the corporate fund. It's separately accounted for. Next, we have a special service area fund. The special service area remained the same as last year's estimated revenues and expenditures. The special service area encompasses much of the River Oaks East and West shopping centers. The tax revenue collected is used to help defray public safety costs. Once again, this is an area that was set up, probably over 20 plus years ago. The city did the necessary work by statute to create a special service area, and the special service area was specifically designed because of the additional public safety expenses that we were incurring above and beyond what was incurred throughout the rest of the city. And of course, that's where our River Oaks East and West shopping centers are. There are much more police calls and fire calls that go there than throughout the balance of the city. So with the ordinance, the appropriation ordinance sets the expenditures at $1.2 million, which is what the original ordinance that established the special service area said we could charge real estate taxes to. The city currently charges $300,000. In the past, and we've been doing that for the past probably 6-7 years. Prior to that, we only went to $400,000. The city council's never levied the $1.2 million, which we're eligible to do. Again, we have to appropriate that because that's not set up anywhere else, and that is the reason we're bringing it up. But the money that comes in, when it does come in, throughout the course of the year, the treasurer will go to the council once or twice and says, our real estate tax dollars come in, I'd like to transfer it to the corporate fund. The $300,000 that we anticipate getting, $200,000 is going to be used to reimburse the police department. $100,000 will be used to reimburse the fire department. But the fire department and police department budgets are set in the general fund, not in the special service area. Next is the ambulance paramedic fund. It has estimated revenue of $6.2 million, while last year's estimated revenue was $7.9 million. The unaudited revenue was $5 million. Appropriated expenditures are $8.4 million compared to last year of $7.5 million. Last year's unaudited expenditures were $6.2 million. The major increases in the department this year is due to an aerial fire truck and an ambulance. The fire truck is estimated cost, not estimated, but the cost is going to be $1,710,000. Chief's not here to tell me I'm wrong. And we also have in here to buy an ambulance, which is slightly under $500,000. That accounts for the extra expenditures in this year's budget over the revenue. The city has already over $4 million in its ambulance paramedic fund. So rest assured that we're not running, even though accounting-wise it'll show a deficit, the cash is there. We're going to pay cash for the ambulance. And since the fire truck isn't due to come into the city, it's the real big fire truck that we have at Station 2. It's got the ladder that goes way up. Those are really very expensive trucks. Like I said, it's cost $1.7 million. When that truck comes in, we're going to look at our cash flows and we'll be able to make a determination if we are going to pay cash. And if not, we'll put partial cash down, finance the rest, and those payments would also come out of the ambulance paramedic fund, be appropriated in there in the future. The next is the water fund. And you're going to have to excuse me for a minute because I didn't quite get all this done, but there's only a few funds left. The water fund, the water/sewer fund had estimated revenue of $9.7 million, which is the same amount that was estimated for last year. The actual revenue received this past year is $8.5 million. The main difference in these two numbers was that there is an ARPA grant that we have yet to get because we haven't done the work to apply for the reimbursement. That's $1.2 million. That is budgeted for again this year, and we do, and per our discussions with the engineers, those projects are online to take place this year. And then the water fund, I gotta look for it. How many I got left? Water, I'm there, so. Apologize, I didn't get to the rest of this. The water fund expenditures for this year are set at 11.6 million. Last year, they were set at 11.7 million. The actual expenditures were $11.7 million. There is a slight deficit of approximately $2 million in the budget. Once again, there is surplus, there is additional cash in the checking account. We have a reserve fund that we put money into every month, and if we do end up spending more than we bring in a given year, and as you see last year as well as this year, we can potentially have more expenditures than revenue. We have reserve funds that we can go to, so it won't be like we have to borrow money from anywhere. We'll be able to cover the cost of it, cost of all the expenses in the budget this year. The next three funds are the IMRF Social Security, the police and fire pension funds. Again, these three funds are both mostly funded through real estate taxes, through our tax levies, which we will do later in the year, but this appropriation compares the tax. This year's appropriation will attach itself to the future tax levies, which haven't been determined yet. But based on the analysis of the expenses, we anticipate spending $700,000 to IMRF for our contributions for our employees, another $1,100,000 to the federal government for Social Security / Medicare. So our expenditures are $1,700,100. We are going to have a levy that will cover that of $1,700,000, which will be our projected levy later on this year, which is exactly the same levy that we did last year. For the police and fire pensions, these are a little more complicated because we have to determine what to appropriate when we don't yet have the actuarial required contributions from the actuaries for the police and fire pension. This year, we're estimating that the cost will be $6 million for the fire, which is about $500,000 more than last year. Actual actuarial required contributions were actually slightly more than $4.3 million. $3.9 million came through the tax levy. The City Council approved a transfer from the ambulance paramedic fund of $406,000 so that the city could meet their required contributions to the fire pension fund. And the same would hold true with the police pension fund. This year we're budgeting $8 million for our contributions. Last year was $7.5 million. The actuarially required contribution was slightly more than $6.9 million, which we did cover. In fact, we exceeded slightly. $5.4 million came in through the tax levy. We also transferred another $1,481,000 from the ambulance paramedic fund. So if you leave here today, it's good to know that the City of Calumet City is fully funding their pension funds. We do not have a problem with our IMRF, our police, our fire. They are being funded 100%. The last fund is the library fund. That's a little bit of a unique fund. The library fund, by state statute, is a separate entity. It has a board that is appointed by the mayor, and they have their own executive director. They make their own purchases. They can basically operate independently, but because they're not elected by the people, they have to run their appropriation through the City of Calumet City. They'll do the same thing later on with their tax levy. They put their tax levy request in too. So what the city does is we basically do a cursory review of their budget to just look at things to see what's going on, just to make sure that the library is operating within their means. This year's budget, I believe, well, I know they have a balanced budget. The dollar amount, I believe, was $2,700,000. So they're anticipating revenue, which does include some grants. They also have expenditures that are equal to the revenues, which would also include grants. So again, their accounting kind of runs with ours. If those grants don't come in, they're not going to be spending the money. So there's only two funds that are running deficits. I've already explained that the water fund, we have reserves, we can cover that. And the ambulance paramedic fund, we know we're going to run the deficit because we have to appropriate for those two big pieces of equipment. But the city does have the funds available. As I said, I know sitting in the checking account right now is probably excess of $4 million. So we'll easily be able to cover the additional costs. I think it's kind of nice to know, really, the city council, the fire department, that a lot of that money comes from the fire department, from their ambulance runs, and the state coming up with a new formula to help fund local governments. And so that money is there to pay the costs, so we don't have to go out and float them through bonds for these fire trucks, for these ambulances. And that helps keep our real estate, I know it's a touchy subject, but it does help keep the real estate taxes down. That's a quick summary, Mayor. I don't know, 3.5, 2 minutes, 8 minutes? I don't know.
That was like 10
Well,
minutes.
nobody came up and talked, so I wanted to talk a little bit for them, okay?
It was 10 minutes, John.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council.
Do any council members have any questions for John? I also want to thank our finance chair, Alderman DeJuan Gardner, and also our city treasurer. Every year, get together, they put together a budget to present to city council. Part of that is looking at each department, and looking at each department coordinates with the city. Our main focus has not only been public safety, but also the safety of our residents and making sure that we're good stewards of the tax dollars. So I want to thank you, John. Thank you, Alderman Gardner, City Treasurer Tarker, for presenting this to the public. Again, we have a meeting scheduled tomorrow night at 5:30. We invite the public to attend. And we also have our final meeting that we're looking to pass the budget on Monday, July 29th. The public is invited to attend that as well. So I also want to recognize Director Tillman that's in the audience from Building and Zoning, and also Attorney Dominic Lanzito, who is here as well, and our police officers as well. Are there any questions for John Kasperek for the budget and public hearing? If not, is there a motion to end the public forum and no further business coming before the special city council meeting? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion adjourned by Alderman Tillman at 6:33 p.m. to adjourn the special meeting public notice. Second by Alderman Gardner. Madam Clerk, can you call a roll call, please, on that?
Navarrete.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Tillman. Yes. Williams. Yes. Gardner.
Yes.
Patton. Smith.
Meeting adjourned, everyone. We're going to take a 5-minute recess and then start the regular city council meeting. To call the regular meeting of the city council to order at 6:40 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Navarrete.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Patton.
Here.
Smith.
Would everyone please, we do have 7 aldermen in attendance. We have a quorum. We're prepared to do business. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. At this time, we'd like to call up Pastor Fluker to offer a word of prayer.
Mr. Mayor, city officials, and residents, let us pray. Dear God, our Father, we thank you for another day that you've given unto us to celebrate you and to honor you for keeping us safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Thank you for the storm that we've endured and have outlasted, and we pray now that everything that is done tonight be done in a way that we enjoy peaceful resolution. We give you glory, honor, and praise, and we thank you for each elected official. Cover us all with your blood, we pray. Thank God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Let me start by thanking everyone for attending the meeting, thanking the public for coming tonight. These past 2 weeks have been interesting in Calumet City. We've had Mother Nature show us that Mother Nature is always in charge with ComEd storm. We've had residents upset about our taxes. Many of you came to the forum and many of you came to this city council meeting and asked and demanded that we take action. At the last meeting, I stated that we would have Fritz Kagi come the county assessor who's in charge of assessing. He was here this Monday, and part of his message and our request to him was to extend the deadline and consider supporting legislation that will make the south suburbs a tax designation, a special tax designation. So I'm happy to report that yesterday I filed House Bill 5866 and House Bill 5867, which creates a special tax district designation for the south suburbs, including Calumet City, for a 5-year period, and also allows residents a $5,000 credit for the pilot program and create a special fund in the General Assembly that will include Calumet City. Now, this bill doesn't mean that it's passed. It means that it's filed and we still have a lot of fighting to do. My goal is to get this bill passed in Springfield in November. We go back for veto session. But my goal is also to get every elected official here to support the bill and every elected official in the south suburbs to support the bill. Going forward, we're going to have more tax forms, or the assessor has given us his commitment that he's going to stay and keep the lines of communications open. One of the problems and why residents are real pissed off at the assessor, because we got these notices within 30 days. So we have to change the law to make sure that there's more than 60 days where residents get notified. But we also have to change the law that gives the assessor more discretion to not only be able to extend the deadline, but also be able to come back and reassess. So we don't want the assessor giving us excuses why he can't do this and can't do that. He is the sole authority about raising taxes. And you just saw the presentation from our finance director that Calumet City has not raised taxes since I've been mayor, and probably before that, another 5 years before that or more. But our goal is to make sure that we're doing this responsibly, that we're fighting for you, that we're fighting for our community, and we're fighting for our city. One of the worst things that I heard at the meeting was that Calumet City is definitely not doing economic development, and definitely we don't see a change in Calumet City. And that's not true. I want our residents to understand that when I took this responsibility as your mayor, I knew that this job would be tough, but I also knew that we had challenges that we can overcome together. And I want to encourage everybody that we are going to have difficulties, we're going to have differences, but we have to stick together. My economic development plan is simple. We had to get the money first in Calumet City so we can start rebuilding and start a first-time home buyers program. We had to get the money first so we can start investing in our police and our public safety. We had to get the money first so we could start investing in our roads and our sewers. We passed a bond to start doing that. We also had to get money to start doing our green alley projects. Tonight on our agenda, we start doing those things that we not only, that I told you guys that we would do, our city council told you that we would do, but we are doing the things that we told the community that we're going to do. Now, there are always going to be people who are going to be on the other side of this. I understand that. There are always people that are not going to like my agenda and our agenda at city council meetings. I understand that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. There are people who want to move from Calumet City, and I will tell you guys and look you directly in the face and say, please hold on. We are going to turn the corner because we have the hope and the commitment to do that. But we also want to assure people that we're going to do that by working together and making sure that our city is number one. So again, I wanted to explain my plan for the tax bill in Calumet City, my plan for, and I will make sure everyone is communicated with this House Bill 5866. It's a South Suburban Tax Credit Bill, and also House Bill 5867, which is the 5-year pilot program homestead exemption. So this program is going to make sure that people who have lived in their houses more than 5 years are eligible for this tax credit and tax benefit. So again, I want to thank you guys for attending the tax forum. We are not done with Fred Skaggy because we want to make sure he comes back and gives us the right information and answers the questions. You heard him say that it's not Calumet City that raised taxes, and we are not responsible for the taxes. It is squarely on the Cook County assessor, and we thank him for coming out and hearing the demands of the residents. He sweated a lot at the meeting, but I think the residents got the questions, and thank him for standing up there answering at least 2 hours of questions. And thank the aldermen for attending. We had Alderman Williams, Alderman Tillman, Alderman Wilson, Alderman Gardner, Alderman Patton, and Alderman Smith, who attended the property tax forum for the residents. So again, and also our city treasurer, who made the news 3 times in the last 2 weeks. As the next item is going to the storm. Many residents demanded that their city government get involved, and part of that was removing trees from residents' homes and also actually being responsible for that. So at this time, I'm going to call our Chief of Staff, Deanne Jeffrey, up to give a report from ComEd, and then I think Alderwoman Wilson will say a few words as well regarding our ComEd storm response.
Thank you and good evening, Mayor, City Council. I place before you an overview provided to the city from ComEd. The statistics that you see laid out, and they are broken down daily, is the result of the storm, the act of nature, Mother Nature's wrath, that hit Calumet City, a number of other South suburban communities, and beyond.
If you can, we're having a report right now. If you can.
So it's been reported that the storm generated 33 confirmed tornadoes within ComEd's service territory. Damaging winds, as we all know, many areas reaching well over 100 miles per hour, 22,000 lightning strikes, heavy drenching rain, some areas receiving up to 6 inches of rain. Our first customer interruption here in Calumet City, of our 16,199 ComEd customers in Calumet City, our first interruption or outage was reported in the early morning hours on Monday, July 15th. A total, or I should say an estimated number of ComEd customers here in Calumet City that were impacted started at 15,900. And that's of the 16,000, almost 200 customers. So with that, the top 2 causes of our customer interruptions were accounted, or were a result of, I should say, 60% were weather-related, and then tree vegetation related was approximately 27% of the total interruptions. I'm going to just give you some percentages of restoration by the day. So Wednesday, post-storm, the 17th at 11 a.m., we had 80% restoration within Calumet City. And let me just say this, these numbers are preliminary, and they can change at times. You may see a variance. That variance is a result, obviously the storm has come and gone, right? And we had, like 501 trees that were impacted, branches down, trees down. I think just short of 100 actual trees were down. Down ComEd poles, light poles, transformers. But by Wednesday at 11 a.m., ComEd reported to Calumet City that 80% of our residents' service was restored. Thursday morning, about 86%, so 85.9, and then Thursday evening, we were 93% restored. Friday, the ComEd sent their caravan to the public library. They provided water, they had charging stations. The ComEd staff had tablets where they could look up addresses and give real-time updates around the power outages, answer questions, etc. Furthermore, by Saturday, about 12:30, we were 99% restored. I am told by ComEd, Calumet City is 100% restored, but I will add this. On Sunday, I believe, I was provided with 9 addresses that still remained without power. 4 of those 9 addresses, ComEd could not restore power until the residents completed some repair work on their property. ComEd did confirm that they notified and spoke with all of those residents. They are aware. Now, the reason they're saying they're 100% restored, I believe at least 2 of those 4 that have to complete repairs are still in the process of completing those repairs with an electrician, so on and so forth. But it shows 100% restored because they have been notified, they are working on it, and then once that work is completed, they will reach back out to ComEd and let them know to restore the power. Okay? You all probably saw ComEd trucks, but you also saw Capital Electric trucks. I know they were at the old Blairs up of Burnham and Pulaski, and they were probably at least 15 deep. So their response was phenomenal, and I have to, if I may, commend residents, business owners, the Calumet City staff, Public Works, Water Department, ESDA especially, for their ongoing, endless, hard work, day in and day out, into the wee hours of the evening. And that's it, Mayor.
Alderwoman, did you have, I know this is a part of your report as well.
Yes, thank you, Administrator Jaffrey. Those numbers were extraordinary. This was Mother Nature. I want to piggyback to say thank you to the residents that really looked out for each other. Thank you to the residents that understand that your elected officials and your public works staff live next door to you. So if you're out without electricity, so are we. If you're losing food, so are we. If there's a tree uprooted, so are ours. So thank you to those residents that did not call us 5 times in a row like we had a magic switch to turn the lights back on, because we were suffering too. I will say ComEd was very impressed with Calumet City. They watched our social media. They were interacting with the residents that came on my page. The residents were running out, giving water and Gatorade to the linemen and the crew leaders, and that's what Calumet City is about. That's who we are. And I am so proud and thankful that you all did that until we were restored. Now, one thing I did notice, and I'm going to work with the chair of Ordinance and Resolutions, I was really hoping to plug into some of those folks with the solar panels. It didn't seem that the solar panels actually produced any electricity during that outage. What I've learned is that there are accessories that need to be purchased in addition to just having solar power panels on your home. When I was working in Nevada this month, I was able to speak with lawmakers and stakeholders. They actually shut down a few solar panel companies who solicit residents like ours just to put something on their house, and they weren't working. So I want to make sure that we are safeguarding our residents as a council, that we're not paying for something that really isn't beneficial. So again, thank you for your hard work. Public Works is still out picking up tree limbs. Please understand, everyone that contacts us or contacts your alderman through another alderman, we get the messages. Sometimes we don't call you back because we're just making sure it is done. Public Works gave me a report today, and they have picked up alley branches and gone through the alleys. They have 7 wards to get through, but it takes time, but they're going to get to you soon. So thank you for your patience. And thank you, ComEd. You actually worked in the speed of light, no pun intended.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Before we get to public forum, I want to recognize our township assessor. I just saw her in the back. Our township assessor, Cassandra Holbert Elston. Always got to say the Elston part because her husband will come and throw oranges at me, or he's a nice veteran. But again, we want to start our public forum. We would invite anyone who has anything under public forum, if you want to step up to the mic. Well, before we do that, I'm sorry. First one up, we'll have our assistant chief. We have National Night Out come up. So Chief Andre Black, if you want to come up, and then everyone after Assistant Chief Black. National Night Out is a time for us to get together, so our chief has a brief invitation for everyone.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council, I just want to take this moment to invite all residents, not just Calumet City residents, but all residents to come out and celebrate with the Calumet City Police Department. The first Tuesday in August, August 6th at 5:30. Come on out, have a night of food, fun, and entertainment. It's just an opportunity to collaborate with the police department so we get to meet each other and also with your neighbors. We look forward to having you all there.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone who would like to address the City Council during public forum? If so, please step up. Please step up, George.
Everybody comes up here is taller than I am. George Grenchick, 457 Freeland, referencing what Ms. Jaffrey said and Alderperson Wilson, Mother Nature can certainly be a mother sometime. And just being an old guy bopping around town a lot, I too would like to thank the Public Works people. I know that there's still stuff to be done, but they were all over the place. And I guess we've subcontracted some tree chopping people and whatnot. So even though it was, tough, and I'm sure you get a few phone calls, it seems to me, from my vantage point, that the city did a fine job in a tough time. So thanks to everybody that's involved in that. And another thing, I'd just like to, in advance, thank the City Council for approving Jesus Shepherd of Souls' request for their festival on August 16th, 17th, and 18th. For any cooperation that the city gives, as in the past, we appreciate that. We'd like to invite the vast public access viewing audience to our festival. Again, August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Music, food. We had a great 3-day festival last year. We anticipated being better this year. Some fine musical entertainment and a kiddie carnival. Not a great big full-blown carnival, but small rides for younger people. So please everybody come, and thanks to City Council and the Mayor for supporting us in our efforts. Thank you.
And the good thing about the event this year is before the Democratic National Convention, so you guys won't be interrupting the Democratic National Convention, but you can have a pre-national convention party there.
Okay, we don't have to drag out the barricades on us.
No, we don't.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to address the City Council?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Karen Stevens. I'm a member of the Ownership Club. We're heard Sunday evenings from 9 to 11 p.m. on 106.3. I'm here because we're about showcasing businesses and community leaders in the Chicagoland area. Recently, we began working with Alderwoman Wilson, and we're excited to be working with her because we believe in her commitment to the community and the residents of Calumet City. We are also collaborating with Alderwoman Wilson and want to invite all the residents of Calumet City out on Saturday, August 3rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're supporting her with her vision of We Community Day. It's going to be at 79 Barbecue Smoked Meats at 1719 River Oaks Road in Calumet City, Illinois, right next door to Bank of America. It's a free event, and it has something for everyone. We have social services, employment opportunities, food, games, live entertainment, and we're urging you to tell your neighbors and all the residents of Calumet City to come on out, support. Again, it's a free event. We're looking forward to seeing everyone, and our continued support with working with Alderman Wilson on future projects. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to?
Good evening. I'm Tyree Douglas, Block Community Liaison for the Second Ward. I represent Alderwoman Wilson. Just to let you guys know, we are having a Second Ward meeting at Wanda Sykes' house, backyard, in her backyard, 1424 Pulaski Road, August 10th. We just want to discuss the, the concerns in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Clerk, council people, everybody here. First of all, my name is Charlotta Perez Wright, 892 Buffalo Avenue, Calumet City, Illinois. And before I say what I got to say real quick, I just want to commend Calumet City. We got the best city in Thornton Township, to me. You guys did a phenomenal job. When the lights went out, man, I tell you, my neighbors are basically seniors, and I'm their go-to person. Sure, the lights are out. Well, I can't turn them on, but I'm sure the city's got you, okay? They'll be okay, you'll be okay. But I just had to get that out of my heart because you guys did such a great job in taking care of us seniors and everybody else. Okay, so thank you guys. I live at 892 Buffalo Avenue, and I'm here on behalf of the, oh my God, my Spanish want to come in. The neighbors, my neighbors between 156th Street back to 158th Street, and from Burnham back to Superior. We've always had a very, very, very nice little community over there. We still do. We take pride in our manicuring, our lawns and stuff. Recently, we've had a lot of newcomers, which we welcome them. I'm kind of like the welcome committee, but I've had spoken with Mr. JR here, not recently, but we are having a lot of problems right now with pit bulls. I love pit bulls, I love dogs, I own dogs myself, but unfortunately the people that are coming into our communities are bringing these pit bulls in. They're not dangerous, but the people who own them makes them dangerous. Trust me, I grew up with pits all my life. They are getting out of their yards. We have a lot of seniors in my particular area that ride their bikes, that walk, that are in wheelchairs, and these pits are running all over the place. I did contact the animal shelter over there at the time, and they said that they were very full. There was nothing they can do. I don't want to see anybody's dog put down, but you know, when you have these pits going after these seniors and children and stuff, and one thing I have, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, I'm nosy, I have noticed they don't have dog tags. All these dogs are running around here in Calumet City, and trust me, I ride this community a lot. I used to work for Esther, so I still think I do. But anyway, they don't have tags. That's all right. They don't. I'm coming back one day. I'm ready to come back when the mayor's ready to hire me, but they don't. They don't. And I, with my big mouth, whether it's English or Spanish, look, you got to go down to the clerk's office. You got to pay $10, like I pay for my 2 little spoiled brats, and you got to get tags. And when you're walking your dogs, their tags must be seen. Am I right, residents? Yeah. Am I right, seniors? We too old to run. And I don't want to go to jail, but I'm going to shoot because I can't run. Okay? But yes, we do have an abundance problem of dogs in our community that we didn't used to have. And I don't think it's fair that for the ones that do pay the money to get their tags, to take out their time, that we, and I don't mind paying them so we can keep up our city, but for the ones that think they can run around here and not take care of their business and not pay for what they got to pay, that's wrong. So I'm just going to say I'm nobody, but I think a letter should go out to all Calumet City residents that own dogs and let them know that You guys are not playing. There's a penalty, and I know it is, for that, so they need to get their dogs with their tags. The next thing, and then I'm gonna sit down, I spoke with Mr. Patton about it also. That area right there by the cemetery on the 58th Street, I don't know why people think that that's the Cook County dumping area. It's a group of 8 of us that work very, very, very hard to keep that little strip from Green Bay all the way back to Superior. We pick up paper, we trim the trees down when they get too big, we plant flowers out there, because that's where we walk our dogs. But when we walk our dogs, we take our bags and we keep that area clean. Yes, I have called the Department of Public Works a couple of times, hey, this grass too tall, y'all get over here and get it cut down now. And thank the Lord, they do come right away and get it done. I never had a problem when I called the city, but that's something that needs to be looked in, because people are just dumping, like, it's so many tree limbs over there right now, it's crazy. The city came through and cleaned them up, but people are just, they use it for a dumping area. So again, I'm nobody, but if you do a $500 fine, because we got cameras everywhere, so we can get license plates, maybe they'll quit dumping and messing up our community. So thank you guys again. Again, I applaud Calumet City for taking care of our city, and I love the city. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. So, and thank you everyone for coming through public forum. Is there anyone else who would like to address public forum? If not, I wanted to give an update. At our last public forum, we had 2 people come before our forum. One person talked about the taxes and veteran status. We have since connected that person with our veteran coordinator, Charles Pryor, who has met with the individual who came up regarding taxes and took care of that matter. The other item was a young lady who came before the council. We sent an email and we have not gotten a response back yet, but we'll follow up this week. Just want you to know, when you come before public forum, we do want to let you know and resolve the matter, or if not, attempt to resolve it. But we are working on it, and we'll make sure we do it. Going on with our agenda, we have item 5, approval of minutes. There's a correction to the minutes on item C. It should be Finance Committee of the Whole, July 8th, as opposed to July 25th. Those are the minutes that were presented to the City Council. Are there any corrections or other amendments to the minutes as presented to the City Council? If not, can someone please make a motion to approve the minutes as amended? Motion made by Alderman Smith.
Second.
Title is amended, I'm sorry. Title is amended. Seconded by Alderman Williams. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Gardner.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Tillman.
Yes.
Yes.
Navarrete.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to call for a motion for executive session to discuss pending litigation, probable litigation, the sale of property, the imminent purchase of property, and employee matters. Is there a motion to go into executive session at 7:12 p.m.?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Tillman, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
We are being executive session at 7:12 p.m. Everyone is invited to stick around. We are going to come back and finish the agenda. Ed will entertain with music and videos, but everybody be patient. We're in executive session. Is there a motion to return back to the regular order of business at 8:09 p.m.?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
We are back in the regular orders of business. We are at reports of standing committees. Public Works, Alderman Smith.
No report at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Permits and licenses, Alderman Patton. Thank you, Alderman. HEW, Health, Education, Welfare, Alderman Navarrete.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Ordinance and resolutions, Alderman Tillman.
No report.
Thank you, Alderman. Public Safety, Alderman Williams.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Finance, Alderman Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Very briefly, I just want to bring to the public's attention, the Finance Committee of the Whole held meetings on July 8th, 15th, and the 24th, all in which included review and lengthy discussion pertaining to the 2024 through 2025 annual appropriation ordinance. There is a final meeting scheduled for this Friday, July 26th at 5:30 p.m. for final review. Asking all council members to be present for wrap-up of discussion and review. And I want to personally thank all my colleagues for all of their hard work, and department heads, all of their hard work and input to this year's appropriation ordinance. That's all I got, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. City Council reports, Alderman Navarrete.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. Just want to announce that there will be a First Ward Town Hall meeting on August 28th. That'll be at the VFW at 6 p.m. The VFW is on the corner of Hirsch and Pulaski at 664 Hirsch Avenue. It's my goal to quickly draft a flyer to help garner additional participation from residents, as we have some items to discuss that I would like to get their immediate feedback on. And also, I would like to express my appreciation for everyone's continued efforts to support our community during these challenging times. The tax forum was a great way to show the city's commitment to find solutions, and eager to see how the House bill is received. Also want to thank Public Works, too, for all their efforts, and ComEd and City Administrator and city staff for all the efforts trying to get power back on. I know we were out until the Thursday, so again, it was great to see all the hard work and appreciate all the efforts. But that's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Second Ward, Alderwoman Wilson.
Thank you. Before I begin, I am asking for a moment of silence for two women. One for Sonia Macy, an unarmed black woman who was executed in her home by a former law enforcement officer in Springfield, Illinois. And the second for Octavia Redmond. She was a postal worker, killed while delivering mail. She was a friend to many in the Second Ward and throughout the Southland. Her smiley face and cordial nature will be missed. She was a bright light to many. So can we please just offer a moment of silence?
We could take a moment of silence, please.
Thank you. I would like to wish a happy National Intern Day to all the interns that work for the city as well as the Second Ward. Thank you to everyone who went above and beyond to make my birthday months of July and August special, August in the future. I would like to let you all know, if you can now get, I was told to remind you all to get your pens and paper ready. It's pen and paper time. Save the dates. August 3rd, the Vision of We Community Day. We will be at 79th Street Barbecue, 1719 River Oaks Drive, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are asking that everyone that comes bring a school supply. Pack a pen, pack of pencils, some paper, a book bag. All of those items will be donated to two events the Second Ward are partnering with throughout August. At 1 o'clock on that day, we will have live entertainment from KB Evans and Experience Soul Band. The entire day is free. We will have food for those, for the children. We will have events for everyone. It will be live broadcasted through 106.3. If you go to alderwomanwilson.com and register, everybody that is registered will go into a drawing for giveaways that day, which include tickets to see Musiq Soulchild. So go alderwomanwilson.com and register today. Of course, August 6th is National Night Out. more information will be brought to you through the police department and through the ward. August 10th is the second ward backyard meeting. Thank you to Wanda Smith for opening up your backyard once again for this meeting. It will be noon to 2. The location is 1424 Pulaski, so it's the corner of Pulaski and Hoxie. We ask that you bring a chair. Refreshments will be served. August 17th, the second ward will be partnering with Calumet Memorial Park District for their back-to-school fair, which is located at Calumet Memorial Park. Their event starts at noon, and it is free to participants. Later on that day, August 17th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. is the Vision of We Awards Gala. It will be at VFW, the newly remodeled VFW, 664 Hurst Street. Wear your black with pops of orange. Tickets are on sale at alderwomanwilson.com. Tickets are $35. We have 6 President's Award, Lifetime Achievement Award honorees, and we have 20 Vision of We awardees. The youth volunteers have been rolled out today, so we would like to congratulate Charles King Jr. He is from the 1st Ward off the block of Campbell. Makai Reed, he lives in South Holland, but he is representing his grandparents that live in the 2nd Ward on Herbert Brayclaw. And the 3rd person is Hector Dunlap, 2nd Ward on Hoxie. These young men volunteer throughout the year. When we had the recent snow, you could see Charles King, which we call him Chuck, helping out residents all throughout our ward. And so we want to make sure that we continue to honor these young people because they don't have to do it. August 31st, the 2nd Ward is partnering with New Life Bible Church of Calumet City, which is located at 415 Saginaw, for their back-to-school event. And again, thank you to Public Works, Inspectional Services for your work during the storm. Should you need me, call me, text me, email me, 708-586-4990. Call or text 708-586-4990 or email me at Monet, M-O-N-E-T, at alderwomanwilson.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. 3rd Ward, Alderman Tillman.
Thank you, Mayor. On Monday, August 5th, the 3rd and 4th Ward is hosting their monthly town hall meeting at 6:30 in Downey Park Fieldhouse. We encourage all the residents to attend. Additionally, August 17th is the annual 3rd and 4th Ward back-to-school picnic. That'll also be in Downey Park starting at noon. This year we'll again have food, book bags, games, pony rides, and a new addition this year, we're going to have a dunk tank where you can dunk your alderman, and Alderman Williams unknowingly volunteered where you can dunk your alderman, and that again is August 17th at noon. I also want to thank the residents that attended the I-94 Dalton Road Studies meeting that was held July 24th, yesterday. We're going to have more information to come, so just be on the lookout for that. And again, if any residents have any questions, call my office, 708-891-8193. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman, for not inviting me this year to be in the dunk tank. I think the city attorney
He left that up to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite you.
Yeah, especially not. Talk too fast. 4th Ward, Alderman Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we honor God who makes all things possible. I want to thank the residents that came out and participated at the 4th Ward River Oaks Townhouses Co-op meeting yesterday. I want to thank Matt Berger, the Police Department, and Department of Public Works for their participation and their sharing of information and insight on up-and-coming events on 158th and Paxton. I want to thank the residents and the property management of Sandridge Apartments for their invitation to their family and friends event that was held today before this meeting. I look forward to spending more time with you all, even though you all now belong to the 7th Ward. But I do look forward to serving until the expiration of my term as your alderman. The back-to-school picnic, as DeAndre Tillman alluded to, we are inviting the mayor to get inside of the dunk tank. We look forward to that. There will also be some free haircuts allowed that day through South Suburban College. They will be providing free haircuts for students that would like them. And August 5th, the 3rd and 4th Ward meeting, we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. 5th Ward, Alderman Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. Very briefly, I would like to thank the Public Works Department and their quick response to the residents during last week's storm. I also want to thank the residents that reached out to my office for their patience and resilience through the power outages. If you need further assistance, CETA has launched a program, Rebuilding After the Storms. They're supporting families affected by natural disasters. You can give them a call at 312-795-8948. That's 312-795-8948. In addition, the Calumet City Resource Center is open on Tuesdays, Mondays and Tuesdays from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. That's Monday and Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at 768 Lincoln. That's in the gymnasium of the Jesus Shepherd of Souls Church. Please, if you need any additional information or you want to report anything else to my office, give me a call at 708-891-8195. Also, my office is in the process of planning the 2nd annual 5th Ward Family Fun Fest, so stay tuned for flyers that'll be going out in the mail. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. 6th Ward, Alderman Patton.
Thank you. Just really quickly, I've gotten a number of calls, especially since the storm last week, from people complaining about trees from their neighbor's property falling onto things on their property and damaging it. And I would just like to remind everybody and ask everybody to please be neighborly and try and solve these disputes amongst yourselves and not call our offices or call inspectional services or call the police department to try and solve a dispute of a branch over a fence. Please, everybody just do the right thing and be neighborly. Next Wednesday, July 31st, we'll be having another 6th Ward meeting at 6 p.m. at the corner of 167th and Kenilworth. Bring a chair, and I hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. 7th Ward, Alderman Smith.
Yes, just want to remind the 7th Ward residents, our next monthly town hall meeting will be August the 17th from 10 a.m. to noon at DA's Banquet Hall. If you have any questions on that, please email asmith@calumetcity.org or contact 708-891-8197. Also, please continue to report vacant properties and other concerns that you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. I have 2 matters. One is thanking Alderman Tillman, Alderman Patton. Of course, through our ordinance, we have, city is not assessing fees for our contractor licenses. We have an ordinance now that all new businesses and all contractor licenses are $250 until December 31st. So any new license, any new business, that contractor's license business that comes in now, the fee is $250. Director Tillman, Cleo, of course, are enforcing this ordinance, and contractors are happy because now any new business that comes in and also any new contractor's licenses are half off at $250. And we're also not going to assess late fees due to the outage. We're not going to have late fees on water, late fees on any of those assessments as a way to help our residents, because we know this outage really hurt people, but we also want to be cognizant of that. So that's what's going down in the department. The next thing is on Saturday, was mentioned, my office along with Representative Marcus Evans, we're doing a shred day. It will be here, it's on the agenda. It's here at City Hall, and it's not at the Sheriff's Office. So on the agenda, it says the Sheriff's Office, it is at City Hall. Marcus would kill us if we told everybody to go to the sheriff's office. So it's, just want to make that announcement that it's here and not at the sheriff's office. Finally, received a notice from CETA that they're accepting applications for scholarships, and CETA has been a great partner to Calumet City. As you know, they gave help residents with their water bill and many other items. CETA's given out scholarships in the amount of $1,000 to $3,000 for payment for tuition. The application deadline is September 15th. We'll make sure all the aldermen get this, but this application is open to Calumet City, and the scholarship package is here. Want to encourage all the kids that are going to school, going away to college, to apply for this scholarship, and we want to put CETA's money where their mouth is, and we should encourage 1,000 Calumet City people to apply and make CETA give all of them a scholarship. So I wanted to encourage everybody to apply for this scholarship because CETA has definitely said they will help us. That is the last item that I have. Moving on the agenda, we are on item 8, informational items. Just like to point out on the informational items, we have Ansel Glink that submitted a memo to the City Council regarding the Illinois opiate allocation agreement. Our total in this is an estimated $271,000. The resolution will be on the next agenda. As many of you know, the state of Illinois, through Attorney General Kwame Raoul and a bunch of other attorney generals sued, got a settlement for the opiate allocation. In order for the city to claim its allocation, we have to pass the resolution, which will be on the next agenda. But I wanted to bring this to the council attention, just so you're aware of it when you see it on the next agenda. So I'll send that to Alderman Tillman and Ordinance and Resolutions, so you guys can definitely do that. Item K, under informational items, we will have all the officers here at our next meeting. We received a letter from a resident regarding thanking our firefighters for saving a life in a crisis. We will have our chief here and our assistant chief here and have everyone here, but we definitely want, when residents send us letters like this, to highlight this because they attest to the wonderful job that our police do, and I know Commander Gobert can talk about that, and we want to have everyone here just so we can recognize them personally for the wonderful letter that we got from the resident thanking us for helping in the mental health crisis that we were required to do, but also that the officers went well and beyond that. So under informational items, are there any changes or anything else the council would like read? If not, is there a motion to approve informational items 8A through K?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, council. Under new business items, I would like to request that item 9A be directed to the Finance Committee along with the Ordinance and Resolution Committee for action and also for further discussion.
You mean 9-1?
9-1.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Wilson and second by Alderman Williams. Madam Clerk, on item 9-1, well, actually, we'll just take all in favor on item 9-1.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I make a motion to amend item 7?
Yes, Alderman.
I would like to add to the permit, this is at the request of the director of the Jesus Shepherd of Souls Parish, to amend their permit request to include the closing of Hirsch Avenue from 163rd Street to 164th Street during the hours of 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on August 16th, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. on August 17th, and 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on August 18th, and ask that Public Works or ESDA set up the barricades to facilitate that.
Motion made by Alderman Patton to amend it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Wilson. All in favor to amend it? Item 7 is amended. Item 8 should be amended as well to reflect Calumet City.
City Hall.
City Hall, Alderman Gardner. Would you
So
make that motion?
I would like to make a motion to have the address for item 8 reflect City Hall.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner, second by Alderwoman Wilson. Is there all in favor for the amendment?
Aye.
Item 8 is amended to reflect Calumet City. Alderman Navarrete on item number 5. This is the Green Alley project. Matt is not here, but I'll send you all of the numbers that he sent to John Kasparic as well.
Yeah, I think he said that we have no match. Our match is covered by another grant. So altogether, between the two grants, there is no match on our behalf. So, yeah.
So this is a great project for the city. Of course, we're getting 4 alleys done at no cost to the city. If you have not seen the green alleys, they're magnificent. But please go around and see them. So we'll have 4 brand new green alleys with permeable pavement that's going to be good for our residents. Are there any other amendments to new business items? If not, can someone make a motion to approve new business items 9(2) through 11 as amended?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Smith,
Second.
second by Alderwoman Wilson. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Thank you, Alderman. Item 10 are new business items, building permits. Are there any questions regarding this item 10, 1 through 4? If not, can someone please make a motion for?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Wilson to approve items 10, 1 through 4, second by Alderman Gardner. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Item 11, a new building permits, fence variance. Alderwoman, this is in your ward.
Yes.
Is there a motion for this matter?
So moved. Does anybody have any questions on what that is?
None.
Okay. So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Wilson, second by Alderman Smith. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Item 12 are new business items, resolutions, and ordinances. We do not have the resolution for President Biden tonight. It will be on the upcoming agenda.
Is he coming here?
Alderman, the camera's rolling, so I cannot give you a response on that. But action on item 12.2, please, Alderman Tillman.
I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Tillman, second by Alderwoman Wilson. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll on item 12.2?
Yes.
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 Thank you, everyone. Item 13, financial matters. For the same reasons, I would ask for a motion to have item 1 sent to finance and ordinance and resolution. Motion made by Alderman Gardner, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor to send this to finance and to ordinance and resolution?
All right.
Alderman Gardner, are there any questions on items 2 through
46.
On item 37, it looks like the invoice wasn't attached. I can't remember the exact amount, but if we can amend item 37 to read to not exceed $1,200.
Okay.
I want to say it was 1,500. 15.
Want to say 2,000? You want to say not to exceed 2,000?
Okay, not to exceed 1,500.
Alderman Tillman has a motion to amend item 37, not to include, not to exceed $1,500. Second by Alderman Smith. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll on this?
Just that one item, right?
Yeah, just the one item, and then we'll take any amendments as a total. Just on the one item, I'm sorry, Clerk.
Yes.
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 Any other questions regarding items 2 through 46?
Yes, Mayor. Notice that a motion to remit payment to Diva Creations for back-to-school supplies in the amount of $39.80. It was on the draft, but it's not on this particular copy. I'd like the motion to amend to add it.
What item?
Motion to remit payment to Diva Creations for the amount of $3,980 for back-to-school supplies.
Number 33?
Alderman,
It's reflected.
yeah, number 33, Alderman.
Oh, it's on it?
Yeah. What agenda you got?
I withdraw my motion. Thank you.
Alderman Smith withdraws his motion.
Mayor,
Yes.
I have several amendments with regard to account numbers.
Okay.
Item 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The proper account number is 01025-52200. That's the special legal fee line item. Item number 23, the sewer line item is incomplete. It should be 03036-52101, which is the sewer maintenance and repair line item.
Okay.
And that same amendment would apply to item number 24 as well.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Mr. Treasurer, can you provide a list of that to the clerk, please?
I certainly can, but there are several, there are a couple others, Mayor. Item number 29, the correct line item should be 10010, it's been a long week, 85-52430, which is the professional services line item. Alderman Tillman took care of number 37. And last but certainly not least, item number 43, the motion should be motion to reclassify account number from 02007-52981. The correct account number, once again, is 01085-52430. That's the professional services line item.
Gotcha. You heard the treasurer's request for those amendments. Alderman Gardner, would you like to make a motion for those amendments?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to those items as stated, as amended.
Is there a second to those amended items, the treasurer?
Second.
Second by Alderman Williams.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll to amend those items, and then we'll come back for the approval.
Yes.
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 Any further corrections, Alderman Gardner?
None.
Can you make a motion, Alderman Gardner, for the items as stated, as amended?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve items 1 through 46 under financial.
2 through 46, Alderman.
I'm sorry, correction, 2 through 46 under financial matters as amended.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner to approve items 2 through 46 as amended, second by Alderman Smith. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 We are in unfinished business. Unfinished business. Alderman Smith. Thank you, Alderman. Unfinished business, Alderman Pad. Thank you, Alderman. Unfinished business, Alderman Gardner.
Nothing further for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Unfinished business, Alderman Williams.
Just real quick, just want to inform the residents that continuously call about speed bumps. I think we are at a stopping point at the installation of speed bumps in the 4th Ward for this year. So we will document your address and we will consider those locations for next year. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Alderman. Unfinished business, Alderman Tillman. Thank you, Alderman. Unfinished business, Alderman Wilson.
Thank you. To piggyback off of Alderman Williams, the 2nd Ward is looking into an alternative practice outside of the speed bumps. We did speak to some residents at the tax seminar, and we will be working with Calumet City Police Department for some out-of-the-box thinking to slow down traffic. We are at a standstill when it comes to additional speed bumps. I sort of blew the budget for that. But keep sending in your cross streets. I will keep adding them to the list. Again, August 3rd, please go to alderwomanwilson.com and register for that. There are going to be some great giveaways. August 10th, we do expect to see you at the 2nd Ward backyard meeting, where on the agenda we will be breaking down what we learned in the tax events at TF North, also how the 2nd Ward will continue our efforts on the federal level regarding our taxes. We will be discussing alley grading and the concerns that you have, as well as dissecting the water letter that you received regarding the lead pipe replacement. It did not say that you have lead in your water. So we want to address that, and we're going to do that August 10th from noon to 2 at 1424 Pulaski. Thank you. Have a good evening. Should you need me, call me 708-586-4990.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Unfinished business, Alderman Navarrete.
Thank you, Mayor. I know yesterday it was mentioned or offered to have a Zoom link for tomorrow's finance meeting. I will be out of town tomorrow. I know I lost a fight to push that meeting to Monday, but if I could request a Zoom link for tomorrow's meeting, I will be out of town getting licensed in another state, so I got some classes to take tomorrow and Saturday. But just a request. Thank you.
We'll definitely
for the
send that to you,
consideration.
Alderman. The meeting tomorrow is at 5:30 on Friday. Invite the public. There being no further business to come before the City Council, is there a motion to adjourn at 8:43 p.m.? Motion made by Alderman Gardner, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor? Meeting adjourned.